back to the channel. I'm your host, back with some more Subnautica. Last left off, I figured I'd go ahead and move us around a bit. Move us about a bit. Change our locale, change our scanner choice.
1,100 meters. Oxygen efficiency decreased.
And that has been handled. So now it's all just a matter of us doing a slight tour and then continuing on from there. If you folks like what you see and want to see more of me, give me a like, follow, subscribe here on YouTube or both. Drop a comment, check out some of my other playlists. And wherever you folks happen to be, have yourselves a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night. And get comfortable. Let's get into this. As I said, we I don't know why I wanted to get started outside. Moved on to the mushroom forests. Went ahead and brought my chests over. And then we decided to make ourselves a little bitty functional location. Right. That's what I'm looking for. It's copper. Everything is built. Everything is in the process of growing. There you are. Okay. Like, where did I leave my sea moth?
Welcome aboard, Captain.
As I said, we got the moon pool, vehicle modification station, battery charger, couple of chests. This one particularly is just based on things we might need. Not this one. Yeah, things we might need. This is more or less for a couple of things we'll need later on. Plus a bit of extra storage.
Emergency. Starvation imminent. Seek calorie intake immediately.
Handled momentarily. We got our storage choices, reinforcement, water filtration, bioreactor, duffel bag. I'm not entirely too keen on worrying about the medkit fabricator or the radio, but I will be building those. Just figured I'd go ahead and give them their slots so I'm not concerned about space or anything like that. And eventually, of course, we will want that radio. I think we've gotten... I think we still have messages to go.
Vital signs
But
stabilizing.
we'll see. That actually works out perfectly. Take this one out and completely refill it. Until I decide to eat something. Okay. Alright. For a bit, when I set this base up over here, it was so touch and go initially because of the power levels. And this thing constantly eating power to actually make the water. But once it's done, it's not a problem. I mean, I didn't even dock any of my vehicles. It was eating through power so bad. Okay. I said storage, not swim. I believe I got everything out of the storage that I needed to. Yeah. Only thing that's here are the things that should be. And of course, a scanner room all set up. Still only 3 upgrades, but that's only because I needed magnetite, which I was able to find during that whole little trip back and forth, amongst other things. And this is, of course, our new search zone. Well, if that ain't a structure. Praise the sun. Always did like how useful this is, but it requires you to be able to notice and look at the very fine details because it is extremely complicated. If there was a way to raise or lower the map, it would be so much easier. Do I have water in here? Yes, I do. Yep. And there was only two I wanted to leave in there anyway. Want to make sure at least each of my vehicles has at least two bottles, rather. All right. In need of copper. Oh wait, there's no point in that. Show me limestone. Oh well. Well, show me copper. I want to look at copper, but most of the copper around here is in large mineable chunks. And I don't have the drill equipment for that. Like, look at that. Perfect. I can't get it though, and then there's one basically like right next to it. Hey, nice to see you again, Seymour. And well, same difference. I think this is the one. Yep. So now it's a matter of finding limestone in the dark, which ain't happening. Because there's no way that's going to work. And then, of course, as you saw in the bioreactor, I figured I'd go ahead and just chuck in some of that, blood oil. As I said, it grows straight from one vine and you just pluck them. They're full size normally, along with our acid shrooms and our gel sacks. Okay. Now copper is needed, but it's not exactly something I need at this exact moment. It's more just something I would like to find. So what I'm thinking about doing is just getting back to it. Right. Already checked that. Right? Yeah. Okay. I did check that before I left. I guess really the only thing I could do in terms of things I'm seeking is either look for wrecks or fragments. And I don't think fragments will give me what I need, so show me the wrecks. Alright.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Yeah, we did some traveling back and forth in this thing. Knew eventually I was gonna have to put time into bringing the prawn around. Oh, right, hold up. Never did switch out me upgrades. Speaking of which, where did I leave them? Second beacon is for the planet gun. Actually need to take that over there before too long. Right. And I had marked those in the top right just to solve this exact issue for later on. Where polyaniline is gold and hydraulic acid and a wiring kit. I believe I have enough silver. No point in leaving that in here. Might as well always have those near the vehicle bay. Wait a minute. Right. Hydraulic acid and gold. Gold. Alright, but I needed that silver. There was no point in putting it back. Excuse me. What the? Oh, okay. It's looking like that's something I need. It's silver. Nope, never mind. I mean, yeah, but never mind. Won't really have a need for this thing yet. But this is honestly one of those better to have and not need kind of things. Keep this actually on me. Yeah. Store one of the extra modules and put the other one in the prawn suit. I think I might have mentioned it last episode, but whenever you add to the prawn suit storage, it doesn't get extra bays, it just gets extra storage in that same spot. An entire extra row, I want to say, is the term. Useful little trick if you folks don't want to build the battery charger. Just build the moon pool. Swap out the power cells from something you happen to have docked. Back in business. What was that? Oh, unstuck. Okay. Only wreck in range, huh? Really? Nah. I know for a fact there's another wreck around here. And I've been to it on strain. That's what you call a wreck, huh? I mean, it fit, obviously, but I didn't leave anything around here last time, did I? No. So that's the only wreck in range, huh, gang? Well, if that's the case, let me go ahead and cut that off. Turn it over to fragments. Rather, yeah, there's the other copper and lithium. More lithium. I cannot remember where I can find what I need for this to solve that problem. But that's alright. Okay. Excuse me. See what you say about limestone. I remember it being an issue that you have to sometimes actually like pass by an area that happens to have one at the time to cause it to be scannable. Yeah. It's one of the reasons why it is perfect. One of the reasons why it is you'll sometimes scan something, you'll go out and then there'll be like 8 of the same thing you scanned much closer than that scan. All right. You folks want to make this a thing, I won't complain. Definitely need that lithium too. I was right. When I had landed here, I didn't see much limestone. I could have swore there was more, but it might be this particular area of the mushroom forest that doesn't have a great deal. It's too bad, as limestone is a very standard one that will be of extreme use. But hey, beggars can't be choosers. Alright. I wonder. Is that for the prawn? Yeah, that is for the prawn. Plastils, nickel, and ruby. That's 10 titanium, 2 lithium. 3 nickel. So, all my nickel. Excuse me. The reason I'm doing this is I suspect I'm going to need it quite soon. Right, I forgot the ruby and the transformation into a plastil ingot. Alright. Alright. 1,300 meters. Yes, sir. I was hoping while I was doing all that, maybe some more limestone popped up, but well, that's fine. Head back to base or back to the escape pod. Make sure no new messages have come through. Then we dive. What do we seek as we dive?
Welcome aboard,
Answers,
Captain.
as always. Wait a minute. Oh, I actually need to do that anyway. Okay. Found Life Pod 4 already. That was the upside down pod. Found Life Pod 6 as well. 7? Huh. not so much. I don't know. Hmm. 1 kilometer southwest of the Aurora Stern section, 200 meters in an area of low ecological activity. I think we were around this area, but maybe not. Oh, all right. Limestone. Like, see what I mean? Now that's a 500, almost a 500-meter sweep. Matter of fact, I actually forgot to make that upgrade. That's almost a 500-meter sweep. That is not 500 meters distance. All right. Gave it a little look. I'm not trying to get stuck around here. That's why I'm not going around the whole thing. I'm more or less just trying to. Yeah, where did they all go? More or less just trying to see if there was any. See if there was any sand or limestone around that specific spot. Since there wasn't, I ain't traveling. Still didn't see any more. As you can see, you have to switch back and forth between the sonar or the defense system. You can't use both at the same time. Defense system is useful though. It can be used to scare away quite a bit. You can end up killing like weaker fish with it, but primarily you want to use it to deal with things like leviathans or down. I say down just because it's pretty much whatever you really have a need for. There will be a few creatures you will not want around you long term. Very honestly, you won't want them around you more than a second, if that. But we'll get there when we get there. That's what I forgot to grab. My mobile vehicle bag. Okay. There's no messages. Oh, forgot I had silver here. A couple other things too. Yeah. Go ahead and turn one of those into a wiring kit. Why not? Drop all this off at base. Nope. No. We'll eventually want to make our Cyclops, and we're definitely going to need that. Thought there might be a message. Thought there might be a message. They're usually, I mean, I know we're quite a ways in, but there's still, I want to say a few things we have been messaged on. Yeah. Giant coral look like they're just gonna swallow you whole sometime. Like one of them Star Wars moon worms or whatever they're called. Asteroid worms or something. As you can see, somewhat of a useful spot, especially if you're thinking in terms of potential predators. Yeah, sure, we sit right on the lip, but we'll be alright.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Sure. Why not? Go ahead and get that out the way. Go ahead and get this upgrade for the scanner room out the way. So it no longer has any excuse as to why it is I can't see things. Or at least it has less of an excuse. $500 flat. Wicked. Wicked. Interesting. Quite a bit of under area. You still gonna introduce me to a whole bunch of places or a whole bunch of Life Pod 13? Is that what you gonna do? Send me there again. Now it looks like there's a wreck higher up. There's a very interesting spot. Okay, we got ourselves a few now. Why? Subnautica. No. Is that the same one? Yeah. Okay. Wanted to be sure whether or not that one down there was the same one, or it wasn't another one that was also on a lower elevation. Okay. I remember searching you, but I don't know if I searched all of you. Wish there was a way to cut off the scan remotely. You could take out the chip, but it doesn't stop the scanner room from eating through power. That's fine. But you're gonna let me park my ride in here. It's not getting destroyed by anything. Unless the game pulls some wonky physics crap, it ain't happening. Well, this has been eventful. Oof. So intense. I have no idea how I'm gonna top this next. In the end, it was a particularly small wreck, so. And it's not like I can't remember, but it's not like I didn't get something good from it anyway. Alright. Exhibit B. Oh, interesting. I didn't even think about it. It's drawing me back to the red sand area. I think I've been in there, huh? 'Cause they've got this door right here that's open. Oh, no, I have not. Because I definitely would have got that battery charger. It's a battery charger. Right. I think this is yeah, it's the wreck that specifically lets you find the extra laser cutters for some reason, and the battery charger on the other side with the modification station. I forgot that one. But hey, not like it's not useless. It's still titanium, and if you didn't have these things, well, that'd be perfect for you.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Okay. I wasn't sure because that area looked kind of odd in such a way where I wasn't sure if the game was glitching and it needed to wait for like the rest of it to load or something, or if that's just the way that particular version of the deck is. And that's just the way that one is. What's up? What you want? Tell you all the time we gave at the office. Whoa, wait, what? And now they're off my screen. There's plenty of power. Whatever. I'm still short of 500, so I don't know what you want here. That's alright though. Cut this off, and we're gonna take ourselves a long journey downward. Not too long, but a long journey. Just gotta remember the way to get back there. Now, at some point, what I'm probably gonna have to do. Oh, no, I was gonna say what I'm gonna have to do is remove the moon pool, but I forgot that this is the moon pool and not a large version of a multi-purpose room. So no, everything is fine. I was basically thinking about at some point when I'm going to have to install the alien containment. Power cell is good and charged. All that power, all that scanning is eating through all that power. Well as the power cell charging. Not gonna be much, obviously, but I figure why not. Let's see. Drop the modification station. wrong button. Excuse me. Figured I'd go ahead and let it top itself off before I switch it out. Always want to make sure you have plenty of power and food when you start to do these things. And as you were able to see right there, they are the full-size blood oil beads or seeds, whatever they want to call them. They just grow like that, and if you should so happen to set it on fire, there are some effects. As I said, brought our chests back over, and we went from there. Tossed these in the bioreactor so some things and some stuff can happen while we're away.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Dropped the vehicle modification station over. Yeah. I guess I'll shift it around if I need to. I know.
Warning, emergency power only. Oxygen production offline.
All right. I'm like, why can't I move? And what do you mean oxygen production? Yeah. Okay. No. There we go. Had to reorient myself direction-wise to be sure as to where it is I want to go. Now this won't take us to the exact spot, but it will take us to the general kind of spot. So in the end, it's still what we're looking for. Matter of fact, I'll probably set my beacon over there, just so I have the reference point for later. Well, if you're gonna twist my arm about it, gang, but I could have swore I've already searched this wreck. Yeah, it's that one. Wait a minute. Oh shit. We are extremely far behind the Still haven't found the spot I'm looking for. Waters are getting murky. Wonder if I might have passed the area. If not, I mean, if so, I can still get down there. I'd just rather do it kind of through the front door. But you know what? I don't know if anybody's ever done it this way. At least not to outright get down there. To traverse, sure. But to outright get down there, not necessarily. It's almost as if we wasn't playing hopscotch under here. All of them episodes ago. Grr, arg. There we go. At least partly, though. Large chunk of magnetite. Gotta love it. Where are you? I think I'm starting to backtrack in on myself. Maybe not. At this distance, I'm lucky enough to where I don't have to take damage to the sea moth. Okay, we have that section of caves. And this one. I think this might be the section I'm looking for. We'll see. Okay. I may not have found the entry point for it, but there is a connection to every biome, for every other biome. So it's just a matter of finding it. Wait a minute. Where did I go? South from where? Damn it. That's what the problem was. I went south from my base. I should have went south from my pod. That would have taken me straight to where I want to go. Uh-huh. I know you're angry. Gonna be risky to do now. Having wasted all his damn power. Actually, it's easiest to do it from here. When we're trying to make it more complicated. Excuse me. Excuse me. Hmm. It's funny, this might actually be the area where that life pod is. 'Cause it definitely seems to have those, what's the word, crags? I'm not really familiar with geology. Trying to be careful because there is a Leviathan around here. I know that for a fact. I guess in this particular instance, they're called reefbacks.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Damn, if it ain't dark. Hmm. Oh, well. I mean, we could take a little detour here. Oh, we're playing this game. All right. Let's see if removing the power cell matters. And yep, I am on land. Hey, scavengers.
Yeah.
Trying to remember where this is. I think I know though. Oh, I do. Yep, I do. It's a little early. A little early. Like, by like half the game. Or more. We'll have to see. Sorry about that. I had a bit of a cold. The vehicle seems intact and I haven't heard any sounds. I was trying to just install it. Then get in from there. Whatever. Finding this makes me think of this. I am where I'm wanting to be. I think those are sea treaders. Yep. What the hell was that? A sea treader? It's actually not where I want to be. Ah, perfect. I was a little too far east. good time for a beacon. What are these anchor pods? I'll just call it the anchor forest. Gonna need another beacon in the end. Now, what might be a good idea to go recharge and get some things and some stuff, but I think I'll be fine. Knowing what I know and carrying what I carry, so long as I don't use, because that's really the only reason why I've been popping that sonar, is trying to make sure of the exact area I'm in without running into Leviathans at the same time. You know, that's what I should have did. There's no need for that beacon. All I had to do was mark the Degazi habitat for 500 meters deep. That would have taken me exactly where I wanted to go. I don't have time for you, Warper. For a second, I thought I might have hit something. I did. It was a ruby. So, I have no more need for another beacon. Other than the needs I already had. What does that mean? Nothing's changed. Yep. Yep. And brain blast. All right. Now, since spotting them, we are definitely in the room with the Degazi and a Warper. Hey. Degazi habitat, rather. Okay. Finding that. The journey continues. Yep. Because now we're starting to get to the acid pools. Perfect. Ah. Another egg. I already got one of those. Yeah, I don't know if I ever collected every egg you could in this game. And as you can see, we can't really go down too far in this thing. But we don't really... We would like to, but we don't really need to. Steve Irwin, watch my back. The Ghost Ray. Me likey. Okay. I guess that doesn't matter. Pain? You are acid pools, right? Yep. Understood. There are some of these pools in here that are just as green, but they actually aren't acid. I don't know what they are. I assume they're water or some sort of chemical. Come down here in the prawn suit though, and you can walk through this stuff. Alright. We have a fork in the road, and since I'm right-handed, we're gonna stick with it, That was the defense system, and that was not my intention. And there's that radio signal for no reason, and there's that creature we saw when we were down here last.
Indicate this biome contains unusually
Understood. Let me park in this giant creature's mouth. Hope to God it doesn't come back to life and then scan it. Stay over there. Stay over there. They only make that kind of sound, and that's any of the Leviathans, regardless of what the sound is, when they found something that they're hunting, or that's in their territory. And that's how they get. I don't know. I'm assuming I'm safe inside this thing's hitbox, but I don't know. Me no know. Me no know. Gargantuan fossil. The fossilized remains of an extinct super predator. Excuse me. Its sheer size. Gotta kind of keep track of this thing through the transparency of the tablet. Hence me also not wanting to have the tablet pause the game. Keeps the tension going. Its sheer size would have prohibited it from entering such an enclosed space, suggesting the geography of the planet has shifted around it in over time. A true apex predator. Dated at approximately 3 million years old, ribcage measurements suggest the creature was... See? Yeah, he's... Yeah. Kick rocks. Get the hell up out of here. Ribcage measurements suggest the creature was eel-like in structure. Calculations suggest this is only the front third of the specimen. The remains now support a vibrant microcosm of life. There are a series of precise angular indentations on the rib cage, suggesting a third party has taken samples from the specimen at a previous time. Be gone. You know, something funny. You really want to be careful when you play both Subnautica games, and the reason why, your lights actually can draw creatures. They don't seem to eat through the battery power, but they can draw creatures. Saw this opening and figured why not. Now see, stuff like this will be perfect. Set a scanner, like look at this. Set a scanner room in here. Maybe set a multi-purpose room or something. It's big enough. Multi-purpose room, scanner room, and scan from here. Perfect kind of place to do so. Crab claw kelp. Say that 15 times fast. They almost look like they moved for a second.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
This space is big enough for it to fit its head in, but I don't think it's big enough to get back out. Best not to be playing that there game and make it test what it can and cannot do in here. Oh shit, okay, I lost track of it. Oh. Bruh. Why wouldn't I want to scan the giant rib cage? Fine then. Where are you? This is not the kind of area I want to be high up in. Fine. I'll just do this the standard way. Well aware of your issues, my friend. Well aware. Okay. Where are you? There you are. Oh, you tried to get low. You tried to get dirty with it too. Disrespectful bastard. And of course, down here you will find the resources that you need to, or do whatever it is you need. Like for instance, in this room, it is, as you can see, particularly hot. Perfect for thermal systems if you have them. And at one point, I'll more than likely be building it. But if not, we'll see. Good place to start finding nickel. When I see this crystalline sulfur though, I can't really leave it be. Yeah, we are getting kind of low on gold. Still got quite a few pieces. But I also need to make a computer chip for the radio. If memory serves. Radio or the mid-kit generator. One of the two. Now, come on. Or was that not this area? Ah, okay. No, not yet. I'm jumping the gun, folks. My bad. And no, that is not the only one of those that's down here. Matter of fact, should be coming up on another one before too long. Of course, elements will be down in this acid, and they will be of use if you can get them. Ah, and here we are. Nice, calm, beautiful, serene area. The spot I was looking for, yeah, I passed it. I have no idea how it is I passed it, but I passed it. Definitely will be coming back to that room momentarily. That's one of you. Where were? Never mind. Here we are. Good time to go ahead and do that. Found ourselves a facility. Nah. It's been floating for all eternity. You gonna trust me or your lying heuristics? Really? Is that what's down here? All right. I'm in.
Interior walls in this section are substantially reinforced, indicating the designers were seeking either to keep something out or contain it within. Whatever their intention, it clearly failed.
Yes, it did. And what you can't do both?
Seek fluid.
Can't try to keep something out and in? Especially with everything that's going on this planet. You think somebody would want to. Always wise to keep tablets on you. Always.
Integrating new PDA data.
Alright. Specimen research data. A catalog of information on the organisms previously contained within the alien facility. A number of entries have been translated. Small herbivore gamma. This entity seems to reference the common peeper. Shows no immunity to infection. Death commonly occurs within 4 days. Shows symptom remission on exposure to enzyme 42, but symptoms quickly recur. Shows advanced learning behaviors. Shows some capacity to transmit enzymes to other specimens. Leviathan embryos. Adult specimen too large to study in containment. Egg specimens acquired from nesting site. Embryo shows no sign of immunity. Embryos show no signs of immunity. Death commonly occurs within 3 weeks. Small sample of eggs has been retained for continued high priority research on Leviathan hatching mechanisms. Large carnivore theta. Off-site lab established to study remains. Shows some potential for immunity to infection, but physical remains so far proved insufficient for full reconstruction. This unidentified Leviathan. This Leviathan species has been assigned designator Sea Emperor. Bone samples from Emperor specimens indicate some potential for Kara immunity. And now you officially have the name for it, Kara. As I said, just like the other games from the natural selection devs. Single specimen captured for study at purpose-built containment facility constructed at volcanic region at depth 1.4 kilometers. So we still have a ways to go. Assessment. While it is unlikely that the Emperor specimen is still contained within the facility described, it may be possible to acquire further data thereon. The aliens attempt to develop a vaccine. And we have a lot of oxygen. Otherwise, we would never have been able to do that. Yes, indeed.
Vital
Brought
signs
those flares.
stabilizing.
Didn't know I had brought those flares. Have I scanned you? Good.
Vital signs stabilizing.
Rather save those bricks for when I really need it. Quit scratching, girly. Now, they obviously set this up for you not to take your sea moth. But you can. They're not going to restrict you. I think they mainly set it up for you not to take your prawn suit. Wouldn't surprise me, but once again, you're good with the sea moth. Eggs, and more eggs. Sea dragon egg. This large egg that looks like hell to give birth to is held in a hermetically sealed environment and has been chemically sterilized. Why though? Without the means at the facility to house a fully grown sea dragon specimen, it is possible the aliens sought to study instead to study. Instead, the egg laying and incubation process. Huh. To what end is unclear. It's worded weirdly, so my brain is kind of having trouble with that. Oh, right. And these are the symptoms of infection based on the infected creature we first scanned. Green blisters are forming networks around the infection sites. Pathology suggests a waterborne bacterium capable of penetrating the body through the skin and respiratory system. Underlying indications of genetic mutation and aggressive behavior, and the bacterium itself is unlike any so far recorded in human exploration. Warning: may be contagious. Avoid. Do not under any circumstances consume the flesh. You mean the flesh of the fish and the plants and all of that I've been eating this whole time? That flesh? Yeah. Well, it's gonna do me some good to starve to death, Mighty big ribs. Man, got me thinking about ribs now. Jesus. A display case containing an array of rib cages harvested from the indigenous life forms. There is a particular focus, excuse me, in this instance on vertebrate skeletal structures. While some of these skeletons may match organisms encountered on the planet so far, most cannot be matched with confidence, suggesting either that there are species out there not yet accounted for, or that they have become extinct since these samples were collected, or they're from another planet and they were brought in. Right, raised specimens. Different species of indigenous array indigenous to 4546b. Each adapted to different environments. The specimens are 99.99% genetically identical to those encountered on the planet today, suggesting that rays in particular have undergone little evolutionary mutation in the past millennia. Probably didn't need much. Ghost rays, jelly rays, crimson rays, and rabbit rays are likely all share a common evolutionary ancestor. The alpha ray would have evolved deep in the ocean trenches, quickly growing in line with available food supplies. It would have most resembled the ghost ray in size and appearance, with translucent skin for camouflage and forward-mounted eyes for hunting. A fast and fearsome stalker of small creatures in the dark. While some rays have stayed within the limits of the cave systems where they first evolved, others are relatively more recent adaptations to new environments, likely the result of overpopulation. You can read the rest of that here in just a second.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
All the rays of 4546b have given up predation in favor of herbivorous scavenging and use poisonous flesh to protect themselves, hence us not having a need to eat them. And then you have the crimson ray. Haven't seen that yet. We'll see that later. I swear that's kind of spoilery letting you see that. Yeah. And then there's that thing. Well, you may be wondering what thing I'm talking about if you didn't really get the chance to properly look at it. That was intentional, folks. You will see it later. And it's one hell of an annoyance. Damage report. Leviathan detected at facility perimeter. Closing at high speed. Exterior anchor cable impacted with massive force. Exterior anchor system buckling. Facility sinking. Collision with sea floor. Breach is detected in containment unit 7. Leviathan eggs. Immediate specimen destruction protocol initiated. 314 specimens destroyed, 1 specimen unaccounted for. Evacuating staff to off-site sanctuaries. Planetary quarantine protocol initiated. Warning: infected individuals may not leave the planet. So as you can see, it started here and spread out. Whatever it was that broke this place down caused the quarantine to be initiated and released the virus. Well, isn't that pretty? Skeletal remains. Remains of research specimen. Skeletal remains of a vast predator housed within an artificial habitat. The environment constructed to house the specimen suggests it was kept alive in containment for research purposes for months or even years. Organic matter indicates the habitat once supported extensive plant life, though it has since decayed. When the facility collapsed, the specimen was either left to die or killed on the spot. Evolution. While it shares some skeletal traits with the biter and sand shark, including its distinctive double eye sockets, this fossilized specimen is significantly larger and features unusual forearms rarely seen in aquatic species. This species is likely gone extinct in the past 1,000 years, and its evolutionary relatives have evolved almost beyond recognition. Yep, arms and 5 fingers. You want a box? I'll leave you leaking underwater. You know they say the eyes are the windows to the soul. Do you have a soul? Crazy. Crazy. Only time you'd actually be willing to do something like that. Me? Nah. I'm not doing something like that even if it's just bones. My luck, something's gonna happen and those bones are gonna crack or something.
Biological evidence suggests indigenous life forms were brought to this location and subjected to intensive study.
Yeah, this room is interesting.
Calorie intake recommended.
Warper parts. The organic parts on display contain DNA from dozens of different organisms, largely originating off-world. They are in varying states of augmentation with advanced technologies. This production line setup suggests these self-warping constructs were built, maintained, and deployed by the aliens that designed this facility. So now you know where warpers come from. Still don't have proper context though, and you'll get more of that here in a minute. Self-warping quarantine enforcer unit. This life form shows signs of heavy genetic modification and extensive medical grafting. Its digestive and pulmonary systems have been replaced by an onboard battery receiving energy directly from the main grid and distributing it around the body. Miniaturized phase technology has been implanted beneath the skin and is triggered by the central nervous system, allowing the construct to teleport at will. The brain and central nervous systems have been digitally augmented with advanced processing power and remote communications. Assessment: programmable hunter-killer. Avoid. Yeah. As they said, quarantine enforcement unit. Yeah. So they make sure if you survive landing, well, they make sure that you get comfortable.
To the bacterium is being downloaded. Caution. Detecting atypical fluctuations in blood plasma proteins. A self-scan is strongly advised.
Gara contagion profile. This terminal contains extensive data regarding the bacterial contagion identified as Kara. Discovery first encountered during routine network expansion on other outer worlds. Pandemic development. Network error resulted in routine quarantine procedure failures. Contagion was uploaded to and spread quickly through the core worlds. Confirmed deaths 143 billion individuals. Bacterial mechanisms. Attaches to healthy living cells and mutates the basic genetic structures. Symptoms: Stage 1, gradual immune system failure. Stage 2, green skin lesions and flu-like symptoms. Stage 3, unpredictable alterations to biological structure. And Stage 4, complete shutdown of executive function. Emergency steps taken. Core worlds quarantined. Bacterial samples distributed to isolated disease research facilities for vaccine development. Treatment procedures unknown. And there that is.
30
Now,
seconds.
let me just make sure to get some air before we keep going. They said research facilities, so one would assume that this planet isn't the only one. But one would assume that this planet is the only one that might be potentially infected right now. Who knows?
Self-scan complete. Bacterial infection has spread to the skin and pulmonary system. Medical report recorded to date to bank. It is imperative you find a way to neutralize the infection.
Pretty. And now you run around with green lesions on your hands. That's why I took off my gloves.
Seek fluid intake.
Bacterial infection report. You have been infected with a previously unknown waterborne bacterium. It is currently
Emergency.
multiplying in your
Starvation
bloodstream.
imminent. Seek calorie
Estimated
intake
incubation time, 2 weeks. Your immune system is currently combating the infection at low efficacy. You may already be experiencing flu-like symptoms and skin irritations. They will likely be exacerbated as the bacterium takes hold. Your immediate priority should be abatement and eradication of the infection. Recommended steps: salvage further alien research data on a possible vaccine. Investigate the mechanisms which have enabled the indigenous ecosystem to inhibit the symptoms of the infection. And that's a good point, because the infection has been inhibited. Otherwise, I wouldn't be dealing with such an abundance of life that's not infected. There's no way. Excuse me. So in some way, shape, or form, they're kind of safe down here. I'm hoping I won't have to grab one of my blocks. That's kind of what I was thinking about a second ago. So yeah, this place was destroyed. The infection spread. The planet was lost, and who knows whatever else. Warper, I don't have time for you, dude. I really do not. I don't have time for a fish that's arguing with me either.
Vital signs stabilizing.
Warpers didn't bother with us, of course, until we were infected. And by that point, well, we were already doomed, weren't we? Infected individuals may not disengage the weapon. Where are you? Okay, that's one. These thick cables were designed to anchor the nearby facility to the surrounding cave walls. Damage to some of the cabling has resulted in the facility collapsing to the floor. Calculations suggest such damage will require an external percussive force in excess of 300 tons. Indeed. 300 tons. Not at all a surprise. Can you imagine that? I mean, it's not like you survived, but can you imagine getting smacked with 300 tons? That wouldn't even be a you left. You couldn't even call yourself street pizza. Oh. Little too close, huh? Understood. Need to get you and yours some space. That's fine. Won't need to bother with this. Now, I would like to go deeper. That cave we found is quite interesting. I could just take this path around here, go past the facility, and actually go deeper. It's actually not a bad choice. Well, it'll probably be the path I take long term. But I can't really get much deeper in this thing at all. So what I'll do, go back down, scan the tree, and we'll call it an episode. Leviathan skeletal remains. It's just because it's hot down here that I'm burning. Just because it's hot that I'm burning to death. Sea dragon skeleton. Yeah. That's it. That ain't a looker right there. The semi-intact skeletal structure of a Leviathan class predator. Head trauma. There's evidence of massive physical trauma to the head. The damage is so severe it was likely the cause of death and must have occurred somewhere nearby. Damage is consistent with a high-speed collision with a solid object. So now we know what smacked into the facility cables. And age. Something in the environment has helped to preserve these remains, but calcium decay suggests an approximate time of death 1,000 years ago. Bone growth suggests the creature was in the egg-laying stage of its life cycle. So it was at that point in life where it can't really afford to be bothered by anything. And anything choosing to bother it is effectively choosing to die. Understood? That's what I was looking for earlier. When I mentioned that you'll find the resources you need, that's table coral. It just looks a little different in this light. Well, it's probably got like a few different properties, but it still functions just as table coral should. Now, you folks will find this interesting. For one, I assume that's just water, because it doesn't burn you. This would be a perfect area to set up a base for long term or short term. Why wouldn't you? And at one point, I probably will. If for nothing else, then it being useful. But here's what's interesting. Giant cove tree, right? Check this out, folks. A vast tree encountered in a deep cove and the only one of its kind encountered on the planet. The tree is surrounded by rays grazing on its pink outer leaves. Bark. A hardy, fast-growing bark covers the outside of the tree. Minuscule organisms inhabit the notches in the surface. Ghost Leviathan eggs. The tree's branches are wrapped around a number of maturing eggs belonging to the species designated Ghost Leviathan. This tree appears to be an ancient nesting ground. Excuse me. The eggs were laid when the tree was young, and now the branches protect and grow with them as they await the right conditions to hatch. So, that giant thing that we were keeping away from, yeah, this is where they're nurtured. And that's one right there, just awaiting for the conditions to hatch. Yeah. Big ass egg. And there's another one, not even as big. There's another one. So yeah. I know I'm thirsty. I know. I was seeing the whole thing. The whole time. With the whole problem. I got it. Now, if I didn't have water, or some sort of fish around here, I'd be a dead man.
Vital signs stabilizing.
Well, folks, it's going to be the end of episode 9 of Subnautica. You folks like what you see and want to see more of me, give me a like, follow, subscribe here on YouTube or both. Drop a comment, check out some of my other playlists. I'll take us back up to the surface and grab a couple of other things. Since we effectively know where we need to go, it's pretty much time to make the Cyclops. Wherever you folks happen to be, have yourselves a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, and God bless you.